Welcome back. As always, if you have anything to add to this discussion, please leave it down in the comments. That's how I make these videos, to have discussion with you guys. Also, be sure to check out my other channel, YC Games. It's the one with the orange logo. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Before we actually get started, though, I just want to stress that this is going to be spoiler-free. Just in case you haven't gotten very far, you haven't even started the game yet. If you're still debating on whether to get the game or not, or just haven't gotten very far, this is just my opinions of my first impressions, completely spoiler-free. Also, just so we're aware, I have not beaten the game yet. I've gotten to what I think what the last plan is. We've basically gotten to that point. I would love to be a lot farther and basically beaten it 3 times by now. But a lot of the time, playing with Fang the Reaper and between scheduling issues and like when we can both be on and playing, that's just kind of why we're not super far, or at least as far as I would like to be. So just keep that in mind that I haven't actually beaten the game yet. And this is going to be spoiler-free and first impression. So this is kind of the game as a whole, my interpretation, my opinion of it. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. So while I haven't beaten the game yet, I have gotten off of Pandora with all the Vault Hunters. So I'm just kind of a brief description of how I feel about each one, starting with Flak. I was actually a little disappointed. I was really excited for Flak in my solo account, thinking that'd be awesome. Have a constant pet companion. But I can't talk. Just soaking up aggro. Just being a distraction, and just being a pet. Cool. Going killing things. Awesome. I love that. And constantly there. Plus you get an action skill on top of that. I was really excited. But I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of fun playing as him. Like his other skills aren't really that enjoyable. See, when I play games, especially like this, the action skills to pick between have to be fun to use, have to be really in the moment. Like when you use them, it affects exactly what's going on. And honestly, all the other Vault Hunters seem to have those kind of skills except Flak. Flak has, you throw out the racks and the little thing that boosts his companions, but for some reason, it just never really felt that important or even necessary to use ever, because they didn't really do that much. And I understand it's early in the game. Yes, obviously the skills become a lot more prevalent later on, but the other skills seemed a lot more important earlier than his. Now flipping completely over to my other surprise, but this way in a good way, Moze. I actually really enjoyed Moze. I started my main single player account was gonna be with Flak, and then I'm like, not a fan, I'll try someone else. Switched to Moze, instantly loved it. I loved it. I thought the whole mech thing was just gonna be more in the way, and yeah, it would help obviously, but it would just wouldn't be very fun calling it in, constantly despawning it. I had a blast with that, and that is not my single player account. My single player playthrough right now is of Moze, because that was just how fun it was to play as her, and it never really felt like super overpowered like I feared it would be in the beginning. It was just good. Like it was a good mix of. Was it necessary? Not really. I could get through every gunfight without it, but it was just fun to call in, switch up the different kinds of damage I'm doing and whatnot, and save some ammo especially. So that's just on the flip side. I thought it wouldn't be fun at all to use her, but she's not my favorite single player character at least. And then kind of in the middle I have Zane, Amara. Amara obviously I got on the farthest with because that's my co-op account, and that's where I got to what I'm assuming is the last planet. And yeah, her skills, they're fun. Honestly, nothing really surprised me with her. It's exactly what I expected, and that's why I picked her for my co-op playthrough, because she seemed like she would be a fun character to play as, and she is. I very much enjoy it. All her little melee buffs later on, and I like the projection especially. That's what I'm using the most of. Not really a huge fan of the phase slam or lock, because I don't know, just not as fun as just throwing a projection of yourself out there, I guess. Zane's an interesting one, because I really enjoy him, playing as him, but I feel like I have to really play with him a little bit more to fully get which one to use better, because the whole 2 skill things really change things up. So it's kind of, I have to find that balance of which 2 to use, or if I should use a Greymon instead. Fang, the person I play with in my co-op, he's playing as Zane, and he's found a pretty good balance. He's been switching between them quite a bit, so we've been experimenting, me and him both, and it's definitely a lot of fun, but that's a lot more experimentation of which one really works for you, and that's why I really enjoy him. And I think if you're not really sure who to be for playthrough, Zane is definitely one of the more complicated ones, but he's the one that's, you can definitely find your own playstyle with him. And obviously all of them you can find your playstyle depending on what skills you go down and what you decide to buff or whatever. But Zane especially, is just very dynamic of a character, it seems. So yeah, I guess if you're not sure who to be, Zane's definitely the most you can change early on and fairly frequently. Now I'm going to keep a lot of the bad stuff towards the end of the video, so I'm just going to start off with a lot of the good things that they added. And some of it I didn't even realize they were going to add, but it's just really cool to see in action. Sliding and mantling, obviously, those are amazing. Sliding, it's not necessary, but it's just a fun mechanic that I find myself doing a lot just to get from one area to the other. Is it faster? Probably not. Is it more fun? Yeah. So I enjoy that, but mantling actually changed up the gunplay. It just changes the game, really. You know, just getting on top of things, getting that height advantage, jumping from one building to another, you know, a little bit of parkour mechanics in there. I really like to see that, and it makes gunfights a lot more fluid, a lot more movement-oriented, rather than, oh crap, I only have this cover, I have to stay behind here. Now I can run over there, jump on top of this, jump behind this. You know, it's a lot more movement-oriented, and I really enjoy that about it. Another kind of odd inclusion that I didn't even really expect is the fact that you can, like, almost completely stun enemies. Like, in the past, you know, like, you shoot a psycho's legs and they kind of trip up a little bit or whatever. But if you have, like, a high-powered shotgun, you get right in their chest and blast it, they'll ragdoll across the screen, still, like, half health or whatever. And stuff like that's just really cool. I did not expect that at all. And I love to see it because it feels like you are this powerful person, just boom, they just go flying, flailing, ragdolling. It's a really great inclusion that I don't think they even really showed off at all. But it just felt really right, you know, and explosions too. Or, like, you know, some of their skills, like Amara's projection thing will blast them back sometimes. It's an interesting inclusion, and just one of those things that just makes you feel more powerful, which in a game like this obviously is awesome. Now, I could sit here and just talk all day about how great this game is and everything it does right, because it does do a lot of things right. I'll probably save that for, like, another video, or just kind of spread it out throughout more videos, because I honestly thought that I would be done with these kind of discussion videos, but there's just so much to talk about and how amazing the game is, and with future DLC coming up, you know, more theories to come. So definitely expect more videos, probably similar to this. But I'm just going to end the good segment here on boss fights, because that's something that caught me by surprise. Boss fights were always interesting in, like, you know, Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel and Borderlands 1, but if anything, they just felt like bullet sponges, just like regular enemies, but bigger in size and bullet sponges. But at least the ones I've come across here in 3, they're not. They're dynamic. They're unique. They're actually really fun to play. There's a lot of times it involves the environment. You have to dodge different things at weird angles and a lot of stuff you don't expect. And I really enjoy that. I love that about it. Now, yes, the game is amazing. I'm not going to doubt that. I don't think anyone that's playing it can doubt that. But there are definitely some problems. Some that could be fairly easily fixed. Some that are kind of a part of the game and probably will never be fixed. A couple just real basic ones that I have a real problem with, and I hear a lot of people having a problem with it, are the menus. They are laggy as hell, especially when playing in co-op. Like, sometimes they work great, other times just you can't get to one thing to the other. And I'm not even really a fan of how the menus are laid out. Like, they're not even good enough that I can just quickly spam through things, even if they weren't lagging all the time. And I'm just constantly clicking on things I don't want to click onto, waiting for it to load, which takes longer than I feel like it should, then having to go back. You know, it's not even just, like, it's all the menus. Even the start menu feels like that sometimes when you're trying to check the mail, which actually is something I forgot in the good section, is the mail system they added. That's something cool. Every 100 kills you get with a certain weapon type, weapon manufacturer, that manufacturer will send you some mail, like, hey, a little appreciation thing, here's a gun from that manufacturer. That was a cool inclusion. I forgot to mention the good stuff, but yeah, there it is now in the bad stuff, because I can't organize things. Another really annoying thing is I've encountered quite a few glitches that really doesn't seem like they belong. I've had a lot of times where like my weapon stats will stay on screen longer than they should. Like, you know, if you're looking at a weapon, you'll see that weapon's weapon stats and your own weapon stats. For some reason, like even if I look away once in a while, mine will stay on, and if I switch between weapons, it will compare that whatever weapon it was stuck on first to the other weapon. It's just a really weird glitch that doesn't seem to go away. I have to look at another weapon, and then like I have to look at something else, you know, compare those stats, and then look away, and then it will disappear like it should. I don't know. It's just a matter of something not turning off right. The biggest glitch that I've encountered that's really annoying because it has made me have to quit and like relaunch the game is my audio will just randomly quit. Like, I don't know if it's entering a new area or what it is, but like some audio will trigger, some won't. Like, I won't hear gunfire. I won't hear certain characters talk, not all of them. Once in a while I'll hear a reloading animation, but not the actual bullets themselves. I'll hear like part of a gunfire animation, like I'll hear the tink of like the hammer pulling back, but not the actual bullet fire. It's weird. Like, I'll hear just certain things, so I don't know why. Like, it's just certain audio cuts out and certain audio doesn't. And it's not even like it's all the audio. It's not even like all the character voice audio, because like I said, some characters I can hear talk, some I'll just have to read the subtitles. So, I don't know what that is, but I have had to quit and relaunch my game twice, especially towards like the end, like where I am now. It happened more often now than it did in the beginning of the game. So I don't know if it has something to do with the different locations, or I don't know what it is. It's just a weird glitch that I got. I don't know if anyone else is getting that, but yeah, that's not fun. Now, another complaint I have, which it sounds like it's going to be a weird complaint, but it is still a complaint that I have. There are way too many legendary drops. Like, they launch way too early. I don't know if that's just, like, they increased the drop rate at launch and they're going to scale it back, but something needs to be scaled back. Plus, I'm not a fan of getting legendaries in mission rewards, because it just takes away the specialness of it. A legendary, I went through probably my first 2 playthroughs of Borderlands 2, never got a single legendary, because I didn't farm back then. So it took me actually like probably my 3rd or 4th playthrough, and actually coming back and farming certain things to start getting legendaries, and that's how it should be. It should be a reward for farming, and yeah, it should be a launch. Obviously, it can drop first try, but it just feels like I'm getting way too many legendaries, way too often. Like, I got the On Fleek trophy for having a purple or more in every slot. I got that on accident. I had to get that in Borderlands 2. I had to like look out and find. I had to make sure I had it. This I got on accident because I didn't even realize that I had all purple stuff or legendary stuff, because that's just how common legendaries are. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It felt like a bad thing to me, because it took away how special they were when you did find them. Like that one time of, oh my god, legendary, I gotta go get it. Now it's like, oh, another legendary. Oh, it's worse than the one I have now. Oh well, I guess I'll sell it. I've been selling legendaries. That's how bad it is. I should not have to sell legendaries. Which again, that sounds like a weird complaint, but it is. It's weird to me. I am selling legendaries, and I do not want to. I want to actually use them for a long time and then keep them in the bank, keep them, store them, keep them forever. So yeah, that's a weird complaint, but it is one I have. That about does it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will probably make quite a bit more videos now, because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about with this game. A lot of side stuff that, you know, maybe people aren't quite aware about. A lot of stuff for the future, like for DLC or possibly even like Borderlands 4. I don't know yet, but there's definitely like a few audio logs in particular that I really want to talk about, but I'll say that for next video because it's worthy of a whole nother video. If you see my other videos, you may know what it's about. I don't know if you've seen the audio logs as well. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I'm really excited, so definitely expect more videos as time goes on. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Remember, the world doesn't do anything but keep your stick on the ice. We're all together. See you in the next one. Bye.